With a new year, there's tremendous opportunities for growth. And as a campus pastor, you are the spiritual leader of your attenders, but also the leader of your staff. So kind of walk us through what are things that you're thinking about, what are questions that you're asking of your team to get a great gauge on what do we need in the new year.
Yeah, for sure. You know, there's this concept of there's things that we can do and there's things that we shouldn't do. Someone else could do those things. As a campus pastor, when it comes to staff development, that is on my list of things that only I can do. And so my filter is our purpose here at Life.Church, and that's to bring in, build up, train, and send out. And so I look at those different areas, and we're always in a season of doing those four things. But there may be a season where we need to focus on one of those more than the others. And so this upcoming year, when I think about what are we going to do in 2019, I start by having conversations with our team leaders. I just ask them about their ministries and how things are going. Also look at a lot of data. And so I just collect information and I just allow God to kind of speak and put things on my heart. And then I ask more questions. And it's this refining process that happens. And then eventually I get to a place where it says, okay, this is how we're going to start our year. This is what we're going to focus on. And sometimes there is a determined season. Other times this is what we're going to do until God does something different, points us in a different direction, just depending on where we're at as a campus.
So we bring in, we build up, we train, and we send out.
That's right.
And so as you're having those conversations with your ministries, I can assume that each individual ministry could be in a different season.
Exactly.
So what are some of the questions that you ask the ministry leaders to try to figure out what their ministry needs?
Yeah, I'll ask them, where are you seeing wins? What are you celebrating with your volunteers? And then I'll ask them things like, what are you seeing that's out of culture with Life.Church? Because, you know, here at Life.Church, there's multiple campuses, and so we can look at others and get a good gauge with where we're at. And so we'll talk about what are things that are kind of drifting out of culture.
So what are those specifically? Would it be someone's acting more like a consumer than a contributor, more like the heart of serving? Like, what are some of the elements that could show that they're out of culture?
Yeah, exactly right. So the feel of a volunteer culture. When you see people coming into the building to volunteer, are they looking forward to it or are they dreading it?
That's good.
Well, if they're dreading it, that means we need to correct that and bring a better vision to what they're actually a part of. If you see someone serving on the host team and their demeanor is grumpy, like,
They're not friendly.
no, we don't want that on the host team. And so we have a conversation about how important it is to be friendly and welcoming and how far a smile can go. And so it's a sense, but you also get to observe. And so you just have to be looking for those things and aware of what could be off.
So as you're having those conversations with your leaders, you're assessing where their specific ministries are, but then you're also concerned about where is your team and where is the larger congregation at as well, correct?
What we know is that it starts with us. And so we're always going to live out what we're asking other people to do. We never want to tell people to go one way and we're going somewhere else. And so we recognize that it starts with us, making sure that our heart is in the right place. And then it's out of that we get to lead people to where our church is going, to where we're going as a whole.
So what are some of the things as you're looking forward to a new year at your campus? What are some of the things, what kind of season are you guys in, and what are some of the things that you're looking forward to do in the new year?
Yeah, so strengthening the core is on my heart right now. And so helping those people who say, yes, Life.Church is my home, how can I grow more in whatever area of my life, whether it's spiritually or with education, personality, how can we help them grow more? So we're actually looking at some different assessments. I just think it would be incredible for every single volunteer to know their spiritual gifts, to know what God has placed in them so that they can use it in a way that's going to honor Him. So that's one thing that I'm looking at adding. Something else is Myers-Briggs personality profile. For them to know how their personality is put together, how they're wired, so they can know how they work with other people and the benefits they bring to the ministry through that way as well. And then also strengths, just knowing those strengths that you have in your life. And so helping people understand and have an awareness of how God has created them will empower them to be able to serve in a more effective way, knowing they are truly making a difference for God.
I think so many of us struggle with our identity, and it was those tools that you talked about that helped me really see how God is uniquely gifted and wired me. I don't need to compare to someone else. I'm not an extrovert. I don't want to be an extrovert. God has made me the way that He made me for His purpose and for His kingdom to prevail. So I love that you're bringing intentionality and focus to your core so they can see the person that God's created them to be.
It's going to be a great year.
It's great.
Yeah.